As Toronto takes over Vancouver's dreary weather, we're learning Royal LePage Real Estate is forecasting the GTA could soon take over Greater Vancouver's long-held title for the highest home prices in Canada by the end of this year.
Right. Oh, no, I'm moving back home. This is ridiculous. That's not good.
35-year-old Corey Prescott was born in Vancouver. He's rented in Toronto for years, but is contemplating moving.
We went out east last summer, and one of her cousins bought a house for really cheap, and he's like, yeah, it seems a lot of Ontarians are moving to Nova Scotia.
Last year, Royal LePage projected the GTA's home price increase for 2024 would be 6%. Now that's been hiked to a 10% increase. Do you own your home, Ed?
Yes, but just because when I was born, I got lucky. Born in '69, so I'd be able to afford a home in my late 20s, but my kids can't.
In 1998, Ed Seagram bought his Riverdale home for $274,000. Now homes in his neighborhood are $1.6 million. What do you think about the fact that your kids, likely, like you said, will never be able to buy a house?
Yeah, no, I just think, well, it's sad for them. I think their generation's going to be less well off than mine. And so we got to do something about it.
2023's actual final quarter aggregate home price in the GTA was over $1.1 million. Royal LePage's forecast for 2024's final quarter is over $1.2 million, a more than $100,000 increase.
A lot of this crunch and a lot of this pressure is that our population's still outpacing our housing completion. So even though we're building, population grew far more rapidly, and now we're basically playing catch up.
Royal LePage says the surge is a combo of scarce housing and an anticipation that interest rates will come down through the year. On Wednesday, the Bank of Canada held its key interest rate at 5% for the 6th consecutive time, but hinted a rate cut was possible as early as June.
Now we're seeing buyer and seller being used to the new normal of the reality of the interest rate on the market.
This real estate agent thinks with interest rates expected to go down, the increasing price trend in Toronto will only continue.
There is still a mismatch between supply and demand. We're still not building fast enough inventory of new home to absorb the immigration that is coming to Toronto.
After decades of underbuilding, Ontario and Toronto have stepped up the pace. Toronto is on track to meet a target of building 285,000 homes by 2031. The city has also done recent policy changes, including allowing multiplexes up to 4 units across Toronto.
It is not scary. Doug Ford shouldn't be scared of things like this.
Outside a Toronto single home converted into 5 units, the NDP says next week it'll table a motion calling on the Ford government to make it easier for people to co-own a home, waiving fees and streamlining legal and banking issues around co-ownership.
It should be quick, easy and affordable for people to co-own homes on one residential lot, which is why I'm calling on the Ontario government to come up with a plan to make that happen.
Toronto Housing isn't just capturing home price titles here in Canada. Thursday, the American real estate brokerage Zoocasa released a study analyzing housing data of 40 cities across North America. It showed Toronto's median home price now even beats New York City. And that's even though average incomes in the Big Apple are significantly higher than those in Toronto.
There, 2.2 million.
What do you think of that?
Just expensive. Kids, yeah, in today's salaries you can't afford. To me,
Ed Seagram thinks it boils down to immigration.
The more people keep coming in, the more housing's going up. And the government is very slow, I think, unfortunately, all levels, at making it easy to supply new housing.
And supply is certainly something every government and political party has promised. The question is, when will the impact be felt? Chris Glover, CBC News, Toronto.